Angry guy here, and post-wall women are trying to gold dig as passport kings leave. Let's just go ahead and jump right into the video.
We're both 45.
45.
Why do you think she's still single?
She's very picky.
What are some of her standards?
She wants someone to be very polished, I would say, put together. She needs them to have a plan, not only in their own life, but for her as well.
How much money does he need to make?
Good question.
No set amount of money.
So he could be making $45K as a manager at Moxie's?
No, don't be crazy.
Why does that make me crazy though?
That's crazy talk. That's
So-
poverty here.
So what's your minimum in Miami?
I don't know. Gotta have a lot of savings, 401k, robust stuff. I don't know.
Does he need to match you or be higher?
Grossly exceed what I'm bringing.
Ballpark figure then, where would he need to be?
At least 150 in Miami.
Yeah, at least 150.
Bro, and they feel like they're reasonable. I mean, guys, when I say that it's over, when I say the relationship is done, when I say there's nothing left, I mean it. These women, they are lost in their own reality, a reality that doesn't exist. When only something like 10 to 14% of people in the United States actually make $100,000 or more per year, they expect a guy to bring in $150,000 a year, right? And this guy who's bringing in this $150,000 a year also must have a lot of savings. So he has to have a lot of money in savings. This is what she said. And on top of his savings, he also has to have 401k. So she's looking for a guy that is likely a millionaire or very close to a millionaire, that has a substantial amount of money. He has all aspects of his life together. He has a plan for her in his life, a plan for her, right? She doesn't even have a plan for her own life. He needs to have a plan for her in his life. So basically, how he's going to take care of her, because she doesn't cook, she doesn't clean. She's the table. She's the table, right? So he has to come and bring everything into the relationship if he wants her presence. How much money does she make? Well, $150,000 grossly exceeds what she makes. Grossly exceeds, which means that she's probably making around $50,000 to $60,000, maybe 75 at best, although probably not even that. And she wants a guy at 45 years old who makes at least $150,000 and is probably a millionaire when it comes to savings, retirement, 401k. He better have all of that together. And the minimum is 150k. And what does she bring to the table? She is the table. And any guy who asks a woman, what does she bring to the table, is not very smart. That's what they want to say. Of course, it's okay for the woman to ask the guy, what do you bring to the table? How much money do you make? What's your plan for me in your life? A woman can ask, how much money do you make? How much do you have in savings? How much do you have in 401k? Do you have a retirement plan? They can ask all of these questions. But women say that you should never ask a woman what she brings to the table. Figure it out for yourself. Because you are both the prize in the relationship. All right? There's a place for both of you at the top. It's not just, one guy standing in this top spot. There's a place for two people. You're both the prize. You're both the winners. And she doesn't even ask for a moment, why would a 45-year-old guy go and marry a woman who is 45 years old? So let's say they're the same age. Why would a guy who's 45 or even 50 marry a woman who is 45, right? And you don't know how much student loan debt she may have. She's 45 years old. She's very picky, which means that she's been through a ton of different relationships, more than likely. All right. So she's 45, so she turned 18. She turned 18 27 years ago. So for the last 27 years, she's been in the streets, and after 27 years, now she's looking for Prince Charming to come and rescue her. Why doesn't this guy go out and find himself someone who's younger? By the way, guys, if you're enjoying my content, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications to never miss another video again, and like the video because it tells YouTube you're enjoying the content, you want to see more of it, so YouTube will show you more of it. But guys, what is preventing him from going out, finding a woman who's 30 or even 20, someone who's still fit, feminine, friendly, optimistic, doesn't have all the baggage, does not have all the baggage, and is still fertile? Because she can't give him kids at 45. More than likely, it's not going to happen. Okay? A woman reaches her peak, or basically the end of her fertility, usually around the age of 35. After that point, anything after 35 is considered a geriatric pregnancy. And you have a lot of women on social media that are crying their eyes out because they're going and getting fertility treatments, spending tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars on fertility treatment, taking out loans to do this, financing it on credit cards, and they have to go through the pain and the long process of doing this. It's so sad. So sad. And they're crying their eyes out saying that they can't do this anymore, and they can never stop and admit that, they made bad decisions. And it's in some cases, they're crying because they're saying that, when they were married, they could have had a child with their husband. In some cases, they even had frozen, their husband had eggs that were frozen, or embryos that were frozen, fertilized, and frozen in the refrigerator that were perfectly viable and could be used. But now they're not married anymore, so they have to be destroyed. And they will never take responsibility for the position that they're in, the situation that they're currently in. And they're trying to go and have a child all by themselves so they can be single mothers. And keep in mind, these are women who are not financially secure, all right? They are not financially secure, and they're out there trying to become single mothers so then they can turn around, go on public assistance, and have the government take care of that child and them. And this is completely illegal in the United States. And this woman at 45, she can't offer him children, more than likely. And it would be crazy to go and get into a relationship like this, knowing that even if she can have children for him, it'd be it would be complicated. And no one would recommend doing this. All right. No doctor in their right mind would recommend doing this. But she's here thinking that she is supposed to command a high value man. And what does she offer? She will be 50 in 5 years. Oh, she offers her presence. Her presence. Because, God made women to be worshipped and to be adored because they are radiant. So he should just be grateful for that. Notice at first she acted like, oh, but the money doesn't matter. The money doesn't matter. And then the guy caught her. He caught her because he's been doing some of these other interviews and the women are like, the money doesn't matter. So he caught her. He's like, okay, so it's $45,000. Okay. Okay. Well, obviously not $45,000 in Miami. Okay. So does he need to make as much as you make or more? He needs to grossly exceed me. Grossly exceed? So he can't it's not okay for him to just make even a small amount of money than her. Not even like maybe even a quarter more than her. He needs to make a massive amount of money compared to her. So she's maybe making $50,000 a year, $60,000 a year, and she wants the guy who roughly makes $100,000 more than her. And that's the bare minimum, and that's not asking for much. He needs to have everything together. He has to have a large savings, a large 401k. These were her exact words: savings, 401k, which is retirement, which means she's also hoping that he has a separate retirement plan, pension. And if you don't think she's eyeing his Social Security, she's also eyeing his Social Security, even though it won't be around at that time. She's also eyeing his Social Security. A lot of the Gen X guys have constantly said to me, angry, these Gen X women, they are heading into some very hard times because of the decisions that they made. All right, they were out there in the streets for a long time, and now the roosters are coming home to crow. Telling y'all, they're desperate. But the thing is, they will never admit to it. They are, and like I said, they will stay on their hill until they expire. They will stay on their hill until they expire. They will never admit that they were wrong. They will blame Jesus, God, and the universe, everything, before they will ever say that they did this. They chose for themselves, and they need to take accountability, because women do not have agency. So you have post-war women that are trying to gold dig as the passport kings leave. And yes, I'm calling them passport kings, because a queen without a king is the equivalent of a glorified peasant. Our homes, the things that we possess, that's our kingdom. Those are our assets. All right. So we are kings. We are kings. When we go overseas, we are viewed as kings. The women want us. They want to establish families with us, because we're going to basically erect a domain. Our wife and our children, they are a subject. Our home is our domain. That's why they say king of the castle. You are supposed to be king of your home. Your wife, her job is to make it comfortable. You having the man den and going and having to hide in the man den because the house is hers, it belongs to her, and you're afraid to go and sit in your living room and be comfortable. You remember how it used to be in the old days where grandpa would come home from work, he would sit in his recliner, grandma would bring him his food, massage his feet, he'd turn on TV, watch Wheel of Fortune, fall asleep with a cold one in his hand. When he wanted it, he'd get it. And grandma knew how to, keep her mouth shut. Those were the days. Those were the days. And he was king of his castle. And after women, the welfare state came along, and women could get public assistance, and they could extract wealth and resources from men through the family court system and divorce court. Things changed. And criminal court, by saying that things happened and these guys did things that didn't actually happen. Guys, I've said this before, that the trust between men and women is completely gone, and it will take decades. I said it will take 60 years or more to restore. And guys, it's crazy. It's crazy. Because right now, women are becoming more liberal than ever. Young women, before they graduate high school, are becoming more liberal than previous generations of women. More liberal than the millennials, more liberal than Gen X, more liberal than the boomers. Take that into consideration. So what does that say about Gen Alpha? And there's some people who are like, oh, things will be okay. A lot of the boomers are like, a lot of the boomers and the older Gen Xers, everything will be okay. We're just hope that the next generation, does better. Guys, talk about delusion. Talk about delusion. What do you guys think regarding this? I want to hear your thoughts on this, guys. You've got post-war women who are trying to gold dig as the passport kings leave. And what do you guys think of the new term passport kings? And do you agree with it? I'm going to start using it more. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you like passport kings, will you leave your comment? Put hashtag passport kings. All right. Let's get it up there in the YouTube algorithm. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away. And cheers.